Hey, everybody. Once again, this is Melita, the therapist. I'm a licensed mental health therapist, and I'm coming to you from my show called Spilling the Tea in Therapy. You know me, I like a good cup of tea, so let's get it. Get your cup of tea ready. I've drunk most of this already. But as we spill the tea, we're going to sip on tea because there will be some parts where, I need to sip on that. There will be other parts, let me take a drink, right? So I want you to be ready, all right? These aren't long, these are snippets to get you going and to get you encouraged. Please send me your comments, your requests, the likes, and your testimonials. If things that I've said have really drastically changed your life or it just moved you to the next level, please do so. Please email me. You hear that? Email me. My email address is melita@gmail.com. That's MELITA, the therapist. So please hit me up. Let me know. Well, we're spilling the tea today on a chapter in my book. My book is called Living Fulfilled. Isn't it pretty? I'm kind of matching it right now. Isn't that lovely? So this is my book, Living Fulfilled. We're going to be discussing some of the information coming from it. I'm going to focus on chapter 4 today, which is called The Big C's in Life. So I'm going to read to you this quote that I put in my book that really changed me, and it kind of was the center point of my chapter. And it reads, "The reason we struggle with insecurity is because we compare our behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel." REEL. Wow. That's by Steve Furtick. I'm like, wow, that blew my mind when I first saw it. I was like, oh my gosh. And so this was the pivotal point in my chapter where I talk about comparing versus competitive. We all are, competitive at some level. Some are greater than others, I might add, but we do compete. So I'm not saying don't compete. It is okay to compete. I think it's healthy. I think it gets the wheels churning. I think it makes you be creative, get on your feet and think quick. So I agree with it. Compare is the one I'm a little bit more concerned about when it's done in a negative way. It's okay to compare yourself to someone when they're doing great. Oh, I kind of, am doing that too. They're doing it so well. I gleam after them, or we want to do better. So we find someone on that level and we gleam and compare to them on maybe how I should go about doing what I need to do. So I think that's great. But a lot of times we compare in a negative way. And in my book, Living Fulfilled, in order to be fulfilled, we have to learn not to compare with others in a negative light that brings us down, that makes us depressed, that makes us question ourselves to the point where we do not function the way we should, or shuts us down, or causes us to backtrack in a negative way. Sometimes you have to go back and learn from your mistakes a little bit so you don't repeat them. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when someone backtracks and sit down and don't move forward anymore because the comparison is just that strong. Okay? So we have to be careful. In my book, I talk about a tennis match. When you have a component, you are, competing. But what you want to do is you want to compete for the goal, not the person. When we compete for the person, it gets us focused on the wrong thing. And then we begin to look at ourselves in a negative way. But if we compete for the goal, the trophy, and we focus on that, that means that you're focused on how you can be better. What strategies, what lessons, what things do I need in order to get this goal? versus I'm gonna beat you, I'm gonna crush you, these kind of things. We say those, just fun and games, but sometimes people really mean that. They want to see you come down. I recommend those people be far removed from your life, but it happens. They believe in order for them to be on top, they have to crush somebody or bring somebody down. And that's not the case. We can all rise to the top like cream. Hey, 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 can I get a drink on that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can all rise together. The sky is big. It's enough room. It's enough room. Enough elbow room. You don't have to fight. Okay? But this book talks about that. I want you, sis, to focus on this year in 2022, that you're not going to compare yourself to others in a negative way. You're not going to compete to bring that person down. You're going to compete to meet the goal. Focus on the goal. That helps you focus on how to improve you, how to improve the situation, instead of focus on that person. That person can lead you to the goal. They should be the goal. Ooh. Hey, I kind of got myself right there. But I want you to think about that this year. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to your loved ones and those around you. Just make sure you stay focused on the prize and focus on the goal and the things that you need to do to be successful so you can live fulfilled. And so I take that quote and I use it a lot because it's so great. And I think people get it. When I read it, I hope you got it and you understand. It took work. See, when you see people at the top, it's not like it happened overnight. Even though we feel like it, like, wow, they just came out of nowhere. No. They didn't come out of anywhere. They came out of work. They had to work to get there. And so you're just seeing their highlights. So when you're comparing, that's what you're comparing. Somebody highlights. When you read a magazine or we don't read newspapers hardly no more. But when you used to read newspapers, you saw the highlights on the front page. The title was kind of the highlights. The subtitle kind of gave you an idea of what this was all about. And don't compare yourself to people's highlights because there's a deeper story. You got to keep reading. And you'll see, if I really want that, do I want to put in that work that they did? Or double. Do I really want to do what they did? Do I really want to sacrifice the way they sacrificed to get there? And if not, that's okay if that's not for you. But don't compare yourself to the top. You compare to the things that got them to the top, those steps, because that's what you can repeat, is the steps so you can get to the top for you. And that's what you have to do this year. You have to focus on not comparing in a negative way. So I'm going to hold you to that this year, sis. I look forward to hearing from you on how you change that concept around about comparing yourself negatively to someone. Their journey is their journey, and they're not the same. Like I said in other segments, you can be on the same road but have a different experience. If I travel at night, that's a different experience than traveling a day. So that's why you can't compare in that light. All right, you can glean from others, but you don't have to compare, because that puts you in a negative seat in your emotions, and it's just not healthy. You'll find yourself feeling worse because you're not gleaning, you're comparing. So don't do it to yourself, sis. I want you to vow this year that when you compete, you're going to compete for the goal. When you see others have things that you desire, you're going to pay attention to the steps, okay? The stairs, and not the top landing. That's what you're going to do this year. And I know you'll be, whatever goal you have, whatever dream you have, you will accomplish. You'll also be in the right mental space. I'm a mental health therapist, so these things help put you in a better emotional space and mental space, because life will hit you. In therapy, I like to tell my clients, I'm not preparing you not to get hit. I'm preparing you to sustain the hit, because you will get hit. That's how life is. So there's no magic pill for that. We just have to learn how to maneuver differently and dodge sometimes because it's coming. So we just have to learn that. And so I try to teach my clients that. So I'm gonna give you the same little therapy nugget without being in my chair. But that's one thing that I want you to do. Focus on the small steps. Keep accomplishing those small steps and you will be ahead of the game. You'll be more settled emotionally because it's your work, it's your journey, it's your process, it is your timing. So of course you will feel a lot better and not maneuvering on someone else's timing or someone else's progress because it's not you. So be you. You are all you need to succeed. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let me take a little sip on that. But you is all you need to succeed. And along the way, you'll be a better you. Yes. If your you is not working, of course you're going to make changes. Because sometimes people say, do you, be you. But if be you and do you ain't right, it has you all over the place, you're emotionally unstable, that's not what you do. You got to get a new you. So don't fall for that. Okay? Sis, I want you to be bright. I want you to be smart and still be cute. All right? So that's what I want you to do. But in my book, it talks about that. It gives you more in depth on facing that comparison situation. I also have a happiness check in here. Okay? It's like a meter. Where are you with your happiness? And that's good. We should find out. You know, some people believe they are happy until, a situation comes about. They let the situation dictate their happiness. And so they're on this emotional roller coaster. No, you can face a situation and still be content. And still be happy. Because happy people are creative. They are more creative. They make better choices. And they get out of the rut a lot sooner. So even though you have hiccups, that doesn't mean when I'm having a hiccup, I got to walk around like Krabby Abby and be mean and I'll visit my happiness check later because I know I'm not happy. Stop having that attitude. We're grown. And so we got to do grown business, not just finances, not just at work. We got to do grown business with handling our emotions. One of the things I recognize as a therapist is that people oftentimes want change without changing. I want everything else around me to change in order for my life to be better. Since when does that happen? No, you have to make the change. Another reason why sometimes therapy doesn't work outside of wanting change without changing is you're waiting for someone else to change. When they change, then I will do X, Y, and Z. You may be waiting a long time. You're letting another person dictate your happiness, dictate how your mood will be. No, we don't give people that power and control. I always say, I don't let someone else's crisis become mine. I understand, I empathize with it, but I don't absorb it. All right? And that's what you have to learn to do. Some things you've taken on emotionally that has nothing to do with you from the beginning. But you've taken it on. And it's gotten you feeling down. And I'm about all that positive mood. I am about it. But it's going to take you paying attention to the people you're around, the environment, the things you take in and absorb. Okay? Think about that. So the other thing that hinders people from moving forward, feeling fulfilled, or being successful in therapy is not telling the truth to your therapist, to your family, to yourself. How do you expect to get the right answer when you're giving the wrong information? I said it for the people in the back. How do you expect to get the right answer with the wrong information? You're being untruthful. You're being in denial. I understand some people come in denial. I get that. But there comes a point where we have to release it. And we just have to give up the ghost on that and say, you know what? Now I realize. Now I understand. Now I know. So you got to do better. When you know better, you do better. You know that rule. It's a good old-fashioned rule that's still true. So you know what you have to do. You got to be truthful to yourself in this process in order to be happy. That's one person you do not lie to, is yourself. Don't do it, sis. Don't make up a story for your own subconsciousness. Tell the truth to yourself so you can tell the truth to others so that you can move forward and be happy. All right? That's what I want for you in 2022. You're right at that this first month, you can set yourself on a good road to a better year this year. We've had some setbacks in our country, and I understand, but that's temporary. Don't treat it like it's permanent. So it's time to rise like cream. All right. All right. Please buy the book so you can get more in detail about what we talked about today. You know, I'm a believer in homework. There's worksheets there for you to fill out and for you to really be truthful with yourself so you can live fulfilled, so you can be happy and more content. That's what I want for you. Please share your experiences with me. Let me know how well you're doing. If this segment has hit your soul, you have enjoyed it, please share with others. Invite them to come and share, subscribe, like, and share. You know that's my thing. All right. Bye-bye for now.